Let's do this. Hello, everybody, and welcome to an all-new episode of Wrestling's Road Trip After Hours. I'm looking at Teddy. Teddy's getting himself all situated here. I even had to play an extra little promo because I saw you still running around trying to get everything set there.
That's why I get my light on.
That's right. Get your light on. Both of them. Oh, man. Look here, Teddy. We talked about this on Sportskeeda the other day. And one of the things that people were having a big fuss about was Bill Goldberg's last match with Gunther in WWE. Now, personally, I thought it was a great match. I thought it was exactly what it should have been when it came to Goldberg. I liked the way that he went out losing to the champion, which is how I'm old school, and I just believe that's how it should be done. And he did it that way. But it was after the match, Teddy, that a lot of stuff is stirred up, and it's now Bill Goldberg saying that he wasn't real happy about how his last match was handled. Even suggesting that, they cut him off at the end of the show, and they never would have done that if it had been a Stone Cold or a John Cena. What are your feelings? I mean, first of all, did you get a chance to see that match with him and Gunther?
No, I did not.
Okay, just trust me. It was a good match, and it was a long match for Goldberg. I want to say it was about 14 minutes, and that's a long match for Goldberg. But I thought it was handled perfectly. But what about the bitching afterwards?
Well, what I want to know is if you're bringing a guy in for a one-time deal, his last match, retirement match, then what's the fuss all about? Okay, that's what you know already was going to happen. A one-time deal. You'll lose tonight, but you'll go out in a blazing glory. So I don't understand I don't know what the problem is. I think
his biggest issue came when they cut him off he was trying to give his speech. He wanted to speak at the end of the match, and they handed him the microphone, and 21 seconds into what he was trying to say, the network cut him off and went to the next show.
Well, if they've done that, then they had the right to do that. Bill, a lot of people don't know TV, when you're out there doing promos and things, especially when you're doing them live, that's time consuming. That's a minute, they might want you, a minute and a half, or maybe not. So after he went over that allotted time, then, maybe there was no way for somebody to get to him to tell him, hey, come on, man, you're running over. So they had no other choice but to cut him off.
I thought it was kind of strange too. Look, I'm a Goldberg fan. I like Goldberg. I mean,
I like him too. I like him too, man.
But I think that I don't know what he was expecting, because as a fan of Goldberg, I was happy with how they handled everything. I know they cut him off, and my first guess was, look, let's be honest.
But there's a reason for something. If they cut him off, then they had to do that. It's time consuming. He's running over somebody's time.
Yeah, I mean, this is a network television too. This isn't just, it's not like, he can just go as long as he wants. This was on Saturday night's main event, handled by the NBC network, and they've got to keep going. Whether, the WWE time things out right or not, that's not up to NBC. They got to keep moving on. But I did see afterwards, and for those of you who want to get into the chat, feel free to do so. All you have to do is leave us a comment in the section. It doesn't cost you anything. No super chats here. All you can do is just drop us a comment. We'll put it on the screen. It's really that simple.
And you also have the opportunity of getting a free t-shirt.
Yes, you do. And by the way, our last week's winner, I promised, is going out, but I have been stuck in the house for several days, and so it's going out either tomorrow or the first of next week. But let me get back real quick, Teddy, back to the Bill Goldberg thing. Bret Hart couldn't help himself. Actually, somebody asked Bret Hart about, the interview that Goldberg had done where he was kind of complaining about how things were handled. And he said, this is Bret now, he says, quote, "It didn't surprise me. That was one of the most pathetic attempts I've ever seen from a grown man trying to rewrite history. Bill Goldberg is one of the biggest babies I ever shared a locker room with. Always was, always needed to be handled with kid gloves because his ego was bigger than his talent. He's out here whining about getting 20 seconds with a mic after his so-called retirement match. Please, that guy's had more chances than he ever deserved. He damn near ended my career with a kick he had no business throwing. And I've never once heard a genuine apology. Not once, because deep down, he's never cared about this business, never respected it. He was handed everything and still thinks the world owes him something. To watch him get all emotional trying to paint himself as some victim now, it's insulting. He talks about honor and legacy like he ever earned either. Bill Goldberg is an ungrateful disgrace to this business, always has been. And the truth is, if he never laced up a pair of boots again, wrestling would be better off for it. End quote. Wow. I mean,
well, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. And one thing about Bret Hart, he speaks the truth. He speaks it like he sees it.
yes.
I'm great friends with Bret too. I mean, I never had a nicer friend before than Bret Hart. I mean, me and him, we see each other in passing, but we always take time. I always take time, to stop and speak, get a hug, and keep right on going. But Bret is one of the most nicest guys. I'm so glad to be a friend with him. I don't know what to do. Also with Goldberg, I worked with him when he first broke into business. So me and him was always good friends, had no problem. So, like I said, Bret sees this a whole different way. Bret is a professional wrestler. He sees things that I may not see. I'm not a professional wrestler, so I don't. I've learned that game, but I don't know really the ins and outs. Some of them I do and some I don't. So, but Bret is, he's a seasoned veteran. He's been around for a long time. His dad, trained so many guys, and had them come out as tough people in the ring, tough, competitors. So I just wish there was some way that these two could sit down, and talk about this and kind of, bury the hatchet and just, kind of move on. I hope whatever Goldberg did, I think, I don't know, it might have been in the interest of for his son, maybe his son, getting involved in professional wrestling. I don't know, but whatever went down, I hope it works out for everybody.
I hope it does too, and I hope that Goldberg kind of looks back at this. And I saw the interview that he had done when he was talking about how the match was handled. He didn't seem overly disappointed. He just seemed like there was something more that maybe he felt should have been done. And I don't think it was much more. But he is what he is. He's going to say what he's going to say, much like Bret's going to say what he's going to say.
Well, Goldberg had the opportunity. I mean, if something didn't go down like he wanted that day, he had the opportunity to talk about this before it even started.
Well, so I'm guessing there was a point of that night, Teddy, where there was a problem in another match that I think threw the timing of the show off. And so they went out there with some shorter time than they had expected. And I don't guess for whatever reason, somebody was cueing them in, or the boys in the ring were just totally ignoring the ref and the cues because he won. I mean, he lost the match. And after Gunther leaves, he gets up and he starts to talk on the microphone. He's got his family behind him and a bunch of, friends in the back. And 21 seconds in, I couldn't have done it without you. Boom. We're in the next show on NBC. And I think he got mad at the wrong people. I think that timing issues for that segment, unfortunately, they happen. And you know that as well as anybody, Teddy.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens.
He run over into somebody else's time. They had no choice. They have to cut you off. We got to put the next thing in here.
By the way, Tony Hunter stopping by saying, "What's up, player, Mac?" So,
well, I appreciate Tony Hunter, man. What a great promoter. Tony Hunter, he is the man.
And pretty classy lady. How are y'all today? I'm doing great. Teddy, you doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing good, classy lady. Thanks for checking in on us.
Look here. Have you noticed that WWE has gotten into podcasting kind of big time now? Have you noticed that, Teddy?
Not really. I don't notice much about them. They don't, so I don't know.
Well, they are now currently, they're taking podcasting, it seems like on a more serious level where they're actually trying to program podcasting into the whatever they do. And a slew of new shows are out there. You got WWE and Fanatics working together for this digital content network. And they now have Logan Paul's Impulsive on their network, as well as What's Your Story with Stephanie McMahon, 6 Feet Under with The Undertaker, which, Teddy, you did that podcast before it went to WWE. And Cody Rhodes, What Do You Want to Talk About? The Raw Recap Show. And I think there's much more still to come. So, Teddy, I was just going to throw it out that you need to let them know that you have a podcast.
They know.
Hey, we got a podcast and we got something to do here.
They know. The Stooges let them know. Okay, believe me, they got Stooges everywhere, so they know.
Yep. Hey, look, I want to throw this up there before we get into the mailbag. Furman Perez saying, Teddy and Mac, how y'all doing, players? Teddy, what are your thoughts on Ivan Warsaw passing? I don't even know if you knew that, Teddy. Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Seen that? Okay.
Yeah, Randy Klein, the owner of TSW there, he called me like a couple of days ago, I think it was. And after he heard about, my son, he called me to speak to me about that. And then right after that, wow, he calls me right back and we hear about Ivan Warsaw. I think his wife is responsible for it, I believe.
It was really shocking for me. I've only met him on a couple of occasions, and we did some work together when I went with Teddy to Texas Style Wrestling. And he was a really cool guy. And I loved about Ivan Warsaw was he was believable. And this is in a world of wrestling where a lot of people come off as playing a character. Ivan Warsaw, you believed what you saw. When you saw him and Rodney Mack lock up in the ring and go at it, brother, you swore these two guys were ready to kill one another. And that's the kind of wrestling I like. So it's a big loss, I think.
And Ivan Warsaw was a guy, a lot of the independent shows, you look them and you see some guys that are phenomenal in the ring and you wonder, why don't WWE have these guys? So Ivan Warsaw was a guy like that. You never understand why the big time, WWE or somebody didn't take him, or TNA or somebody.
I did see where he spent a short amount of time in NXT. I don't know why he was there for a cup of coffee and he was gone. It may have just been that he realized financially, if it could have been done, for a lot of people, they think they're making a ton of money in NXT. They're not making a ton of money. They're getting housing, maybe if they're lucky, and a little small paycheck, but they haven't got the big money yet.
Well, that's how you break in. At least they got housing. Back when I was breaking in, wasn't no housing. You had to pay for your own housing, or you or 4 or 5 guys had to get in one room together.
Yeah, and that's like, well, I tell you what, I'm at the point now of my age, Teddy. You know this when we travel. Man, I don't double up with anybody in the room anymore. It's my room. That's my space.
I've always done that. After I was able to afford to, get my own room and stuff, I always got my own place. It's enough for me to smell my own farts than to be laying there and laying up some other guy's farting too. So now we got this place stunk up, and then I'm looking around, some guys naked, walking around, balls hanging out. You know what I mean? Come on, I can't. No.
You're in front of the TV. Move.
Yeah, right. Yeah, can you move your balls a little bit to the side? Yeah.
Hey, look here. Also, I want to mention that Furman Perez had said he wants to thank you for helping him get ready to referee their dog collar match a few years back. I guess you were helping him kind of get situated in there. So, all right, guys, we're going to step away real quick because we got to let the singers do their thing here.
Letters, oh, we get letters. We get your letters every day. Mailman, mail today. Reach right in and pull one out. Those letters, I love those letters. Let's find out what you got to say.
Oh boy,
Mailman, mail today.
Yeah, man, we paid good money for those people to sing that song.
Yeah, did you feel something hit you in the back?
Yeah, I did.
It was your change.
All right, let's see. We have Steve Morris. What did y'all think about the Jelly Roll skit on Jimmy Kimmel? Did you see that, Teddy?
Yeah, I saw that last night with Matt Drew and Randy and all those guys. Yeah, I thought it was really good. That's the first time I've really seen Jimmy go that far, for his, promoting something with professional wrestling. And I was just sitting there thinking about it, and I was just saying to myself, guys, man, y'all got Jimmy Kimmel. You got to do something on here. You got to drop Logan or you got to drop Jelly. Something's got to, because you got all this TV time here, man. You got to take advantage of it. And I do see that's what they really did. So that's old school. That's how you do it.
Yeah, that's Logan going through that the announcers table or Jimmy's table, and look, I still say that Logan Paul is probably one of the most entertaining personalities in WWE to me right now. I know people hate him and they love to hate on him.
That's good.
He is good. He is so damn naturally good. Yeah, I like to say anybody that puts him down. I mean, I don't know what else he does. I'm just telling you from his standpoint as far as what he can do. Man, he's amazing. All right, let's see. We have Zach Minger in here. Hey, Zach. Hey, Mike and Teddy, do you drink coffee every morning?
No, I don't drink coffee. Well, only time I drink coffee is when I'm traveling. And I go by Starbucks and I get a thing called caramel macchiato, and I get a decaf coffee and I make it 180. That's hot as it can be. And that's really the only time I drink coffee.
Yeah, I just go to the, gas station coffee pot and just pour some in a cup. I'm good with that.
You'll drink anything. You don't care.
Yeah,
I've been with you too.
I can't drink that fancy coffee. It's just too sweet or too bitter to me. And I just like that.
No, it's too expensive for you.
Well, yeah, that too. Look here, when he buys that, I'm surprised because Teddy is known to be really cheap. I mean, he'll buy a good cup of coffee though.
Well, that Starbucks run you about $6 now. That's pretty high.
Yeah, for a freaking cup of coffee. It used to be a quarter that I can remember. I used to buy coffee.
Oh, Jesus Christ, a quarter! Come on, Mac.
Oh, act like you don't remember those days. Hell, you probably paid 5 cents a cup when you were.
I don't even know. They didn't even have coffee then.
Yeah, they probably didn't. All right, let's see. In the mailbag, we have Quentin who writes, "Dear Teddy."
Bruce the Couch right there. He's saying hello to us. Is that right, Bruce? Yeah, I see
Bruce.
it,
yeah, I'm sorry, man. Hey, it's good to see you in there. They popped you up there, and I didn't even see it. Thank you, producer, man. All right, let's see. Quentin saying, "Dear Teddy, my girlfriend thinks you're hot." I wonder
did she see me burning or something? Am I on fire?
I don't know. It says, "Any advice on how to get the swagger like you?"
No, I can't give you any advice, player. The only thing I can tell you to do is just keep watching me.
Study tapes. That's what we did in wrestling. We studied a lot of tapes.
Yeah,
tapes Teddy in his time in the ring.
Pull up some old school Teddy Long, man. And
yeah, man. Martin's daddy saying, "Holla, holla, player."
Holla back at you, player.
All right, let's see. Another question from the mailbag. What was the worst angle you were ever a part of?
I don't think I had any that was really bad or nothing. I was part of. I think we did have something one time. I forget what it was. I think it was with it was with Doom and the Road Warriors, and I think something got all mixed up. And it, like I said, it wasn't the worst angle, but just things got. Excuse me. Things got all mixed up and got I mean, everything just got screwed up and it just turned into a fiasco.
I mean, is that the same setup at the time when you and Paul Ellering ended up in a hair versus hair match?
Yes.
Yeah. Which at the time made zero sense because neither one of them had much hair.
Yeah, Paul Ellering has no hair. I have no hair. So what is the purpose of? But that was the promoter at the time, just wanting to use me, to pick on me.
I don't know. And this is a next question comes from Luke on Facebook. And I don't know that I've ever asked you this question. So this is a good one. Since this is Road Trip After Hours, what was the worst road trip Teddy can recall?
We had a road trip one time. I think I had JYD, Butchery, God rest their souls. They were traveling. They was in the car with me. So we was trying to make it somewhere. Oh, we had Buddy Landell in there. God rest his soul. He was in the car. So we get pulled. I'm driving. So we get pulled over for speeding. So about this time, Buddy Landale jumps out of the car and he's trying to tell the police who we are. You know, we're with the WCW, and you're costing us money. You know, do you realize how much money we're losing right now while you're standing there holding us? And all he was just giving them. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm speeding, so you're gonna really make this bad. And that's exactly what he did. So he ended up the police call, another police car. So about that time they got there and they made us follow them all the way down to the police station. And so we got to the police station, and that's where we had to get out. We had to pay a fine there or either go to jail. But they took us straight to jail because Buddy Landale kept telling them how much money that we were losing. And oh man.
I got somebody actually just sent me a text as we're sitting here right now. Okay.
You can't say?
I'm not sure. I have to kind of think how I'm going to.
Are those some nasty words?
No, it's just I'm trying to think how to word it correctly. So we'll get back to it in a second after I think about it.
All right.
Okay. Well, I can't because we're talking about it now. So I need to discuss it now. Okay. They're suggesting somebody said, ask Teddy about Abby's room stay. Did you share a room with Abby?
Oh, yeah, I know what they're talking about. Okay. Well, what happened there? I never, it was in Ohio.
Abdullah the Butcher, by the way, is who Abby is.
Yeah, Abby, I know it. We was in Ohio and I had a room there. So Abdullah, well, I was smoking weed. So Abdullah, he didn't smoke weed. So he, and Abby was cheap. He was always, and he had plenty of money, but he's always cheap and trying to save his money. So he come knock on my room that night because he couldn't get no room. And then all of a sudden, I'm in my room, I'm smoking. So he comes in and, well, I'm gonna have to sleep with you tonight, champ. I can't get a room. I'm like, God damn it now, Then I thought about it. I'm like, this is my room. I had to pay for this, so I'm not gonna let him stop me from smoking. So I just started smoking again in the room, and so he had nowhere to go. So I made him real miserable that whole night because he had to smell that smoke all night. After then, I didn't care. I just lit up one right after another. I had it. Oh yeah, he was hot, boy. Was he? When are you gonna start smoking that, champ? When are you gonna put that stuff out, champ?
Well, when you get your own room, you can ask those questions.
That's what I was doing to him because he just bombarded my room, just busting in, without being invited.
Did you have the Sheik also? Did you share a room with the Sheik at any time? The Iron Sheik?
No, that would have been a bit much.
Oh yeah, man, I can't imagine how that would go. All right, let's see. Vanish is our next question, asking, there have been many wrestlers with scary gimmicks. Was there a wrestler whose personality was truly scary?
Well, I never even met this guy. I has had the opportunity to see him, but I thought to me that would be Bruiser Brody.
Yeah. I mean, he looked legit. But I mean, was there somebody that you worked with over time where you thought, I'm not sure about this cat. He might legitimately be crazy.
Well, how many you want me to tell you about?
I'm sitting here thinking when you meet the characters in the locker rooms, I mean, there's a lot of guys like that, and sometimes because you don't even know if they're playing or not.
Yeah, well, I'd have to give that God rest his soul. I have to give that to Sid Vicious.
Sid?
Yeah.
Were you around at the time when Sid Vicious and the Arn Anderson turmoil happened with the scissors?
No, that was overseas. They was overseas somewhere. I didn't make that trip, but Tuco Scorpio was there, and then he told me about it.
It was pretty rough.
Well, yeah, I would say so. I mean, anytime you're trying to stab somebody, that's not good.
Were you ever asked to go overseas, Teddy? I know you didn't do a lot of that in the beginning.
No, well, with WCW, I didn't. When I went to WWE, I had to go make all those overseas trips. We went over there. You go every year in November, and you stay 2 weeks over there overseas. Some guys will come back for the TVs, but now since they started doing the TVs there, you can just stay there. You don't have to leave.
Yep. All right, let's see. We have Michael Lotto Jr. in here. By the way, we got a few more minutes. So if you got a question for Teddy, make sure to get him in quick because we only got a few more minutes here. And he will choose one of these questions as the question of the week. And you'll get a free Road Trip After Hours t-shirt. Let's see. Michael saying, do you remember Triple H doing an impression of you?
I've seen that. I kind of remember it. I think he come out and they played my music or something and he did some promo and he said player or something like that. But
okay. I thought maybe there was something I missed because I do remember that part though.
Yeah.
Let's see. Juice Wayne Trammell. Hey, Teddy, speaking of smoking, who is your favorite wrestler to smoke with?
Godfather.
Yeah, that's you better learn to hang too when you're around him. Oh my God.
You got to be a pro.
Yeah, man, you do. Victor saying, hi, what you guys, okay, hold on. Hi, what you guys, I'm not going to stop tyrant up on Facebook. I want my 6,000 back in purple, fruity pebble. Teddy, can you make this out?
It's Victor, about something under, he wants Fury Pebble to a underground boxing match. Yeah, I have no idea what this guy's talking about.
I think he's been hanging out with you and Godfather. Maybe that's the problem.
No, he probably needs to hang out with me and Godfather. He'd get this sentence right.
And see, now we got something saying he's in here. My voice is being heard. Facebook till shut one. What? Okay, I don't know what's happening with this fella.
What he said? Facebook shut him down or something? He said.
Let's see. Well, you talk about him. Let's see. My voice is being heard. Facebook till shut one me up, or I want someone to accept my challenge.
Oh, he's nuts.
Yeah, what challenges he got? Oh, wait a minute. Well, thank you. He's going to keep us updated. Any fighter, WWE, UFC, or boxer, I don't give a fuck at this point. Well, good for you. If you find another show, this show doesn't book matches, so I'm sorry. Teddy, anything coming up for you before we get out of here?
No, everything's kind of quiet. Things have been happening with me now, so I'm just going to take it easy for a while. And I think we got SummerSlam coming up. I'll be in New Jersey for the signing there, WrestleCon. Also, I think I'm going to be in Blooms, I can't think of the name, but it's in Michigan. I'll get back with you on that. And that's about it. I got a few things in August. Also in Atlanta, going to be doing the Dragon Con. So,
what is the date for that, Teddy? Do you know off the top of your head?
It's it's the end of August. It goes right on into September. It's 3 days.
Dragon Con is a cool event. If you're ever in the Atlanta area, in just a few weeks, that's something you may want to check out. Because even if you're around that area and you've never been, I went with Teddy. My first Comic Con, I was with Teddy. I had never been to one of those. And watching the people dress up and the different things and sights and everything about the thing, it's an experience to experience. I promise you. So take the time. Teddy, I've enjoyed this, my friend. I look forward to getting out of here and going to find something to eat. My wife tried to cook me a bag of chicken and noodle or something today. And yeah, I'm going to have to go find some dinner. I'm not going to tell her because, I mean, I get dinner again.
Yeah, that's right. You may not never eat there and never again.
Never, ever. All right, we're out of here. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard.
Let's take a T-shirt right quick here
before
we go.
Yes.
I think one of the questions there was, golly, I think they asked me about the Sid Vicious, where we had to come up with Sid Vicious. Oh,
nobody
you remember that question they asked me about what match was hard with?
Oh, your worst match. Let's see, what was it? I remember what you're talking about now. That was what was the worst angle you were a part of? That is Chris in Tennessee. Okay,
yeah, let's send Chris a T-shirt.
All right, Chris in Tennessee, get with me, and all I need to know is your shirt size and an address, and we're good to go, my friend. All right, Teddy, we're out of here. We'll see you folks next time. Same place, right here on Facebook and on YouTube for Wrestling's Road Trip.